I would like to see a commitment be delivered, because I believe that the Australian presidency has rightly so focused on growth, jobs, infrastructure, which is good. But now that the commitments are coming in, we will need to see delivery on the commitments. And that's, you know, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, as they say, and that's exactly what we will be faced with.
These issues that you mentioned, as well as, say, public health issues like Ebola, all affect the economy. So could we see action on a broader set of issues rather than just what's formally on the agenda?
Women inclusion, inequality, climate change, Ebola, those are 4 topics that have not been the immediate focus throughout the presidency, and yet on which the Australian authorities are prepared to talk about, to include in the debates. And it's the beauty of these gatherings, because at the last minute there is always something new coming up that will be the talk of the day and hopefully the work of the year.
So there won't, because there's always some reports that some countries will say no to having discussions on some topics, for instance, Australia on climate change.
But that's good for you, because it gives a bit of flavor and a bit of, you know, stuff to talk about.
I want to move a bit to the global economy. Certainly one of the big reasons for the focus on growth is that the global economy has recovered, but the growth is not uniform and is certainly not robust, the major economies. So when you look across the major economies, is there a risk that some of them, for instance Europe, could tip back into recession?
I called it the new mediocre, and that's a clear risk on the horizon. It's that having recovered from the crisis, the recovery is, as you said, fragile and even insufficient to create the jobs that are needed. And we see, you know, areas of the world at risk of lapsing back into, you know, negative territory, which is the last thing we need. So I hope that on the occasion of this G20 in Brisbane, the leaders understand that they have to cooperate, they have to work together, and they have to use all levers in order to, you know, create those jobs and support that sustainable and solid growth that is so much needed, provided it's inclusive.